By the way the sunlight glints from it, said, I'd say it's made of metal. I'll accept that, Cordover said, but what holds it up in the air? They both stared intently down to the valley where the new thing was happening. A pointed object was hovering over the ground. From one end of it poured a substance resembling fire. It's balancing on the fire, said. That should be apparent even to your old eyes. Cordover lifted himself higher on his thick tail to get a better look. The object settled to the ground and the fire stopped. Should we go down and have a closer look? Asked. All right, I think we have time. Wait, what day is this? Calculated silently and then said, 50th day of Lugat. Damn, Cordover said. I have to go home and kill my wife. It's a few hours before sunset, said. I think you have time to do both. Cordover wasn't sure. I'd hate to be late. Well then, you know how fast I am, said. If it gets late, I'll hurry back and kill her myself. How about that? That's very decent of you, Cordover thanked the younger man, and together they slithered down the steep mountainside. In front of the metal object, both men halted and stood up on their tails. Rather bigger than I thought, Cordover said, measuring the metal object with his eye. He estimated that it was slightly longer than their village, and almost half as wide. They crawled a circle around it, observing that the metal was tooled, presumably by human tentacles. In the distance, the smaller sun had set. I think we had better get back, Cordover said, noting the cessation of light. I still have plenty of time. Flexed his muscles complacently. Yes, but a man likes to kill his own wife. As you wish. They started off the village at a brisk pace. In his house, Cordover's wife was finishing supper. She had her back to the door, as etiquette required. Cordover killed her with a single flying slash of his tail, dragged her body outside, and sat down to eat. After meal and meditation, he went to the gathering. With the impatience of youth, was already there, telling of the metal object. He probably bolted his supper, Cordover thought, with mild distaste. After the youngster had finished, Cordover gave his own observation. The only thing he added to Hum's account was an idea that the metal object might contain intelligent beings. What makes you think so? Michel, another elder, asked. The fact that there was fire from the object as it came down, Cordover said, joined to the fact that the fire stopped after the object was on the ground. Some being, I contend, was responsible for turning it off. Not necessarily, Miss Hill said. The village men talked about it late into the night. Then they broke up the meeting, buried the various murdered wives, and went to their homes. Lying in the darkness, Cordover discovered that he hadn't made up his mind as yet about the new thing. Presuming it contained intelligent beings, would they be moral? Would they have a sense of right and wrong? Cordover doubted it. He went to sleep. The next morning, every male in the village went to the metal object. This was proper, since the functions of males were to examine new things and to limit the female population. They formed a circle around it, speculating on what might be inside. I believe they'll be human beings, Hum's elder brother Eskel said. Cordover shook his entire body in disagreement. Monsters more likely, he said, if you take into account. Not necessarily, Eskel said. Consider the logic of our physical development. A single focusing eye. But in the great outside, Cordover said, there may be some strange races, most of them non-human, in the infinitude. Still, Eskel put in, the logic of our... As I was saying, Cordover went on, the chance is infinitesimal that they would resemble us. Their vehicle, for example,